friends, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. I'm Amanda, and today we are going to be doing like a recap storytelling. Let's walk down memory lane together. Capiche? Guess what? 4 years ago, basically, we came back to Canada after being away for 4.5-ish years. And I thought today what we could do is let's just take a look at some of my favorite memories and reflect a little bit on that time and what it was like to be away. Because if you didn't know this, well, there's probably a lot of you who don't know this, so I will just tell you. First of all, subscribe if you're new. I put videos out Mondays and Wednesdays, and Thursdays I do have a podcast called The Sandwich that airs, and we just talk about all sorts of amazing things. Just stay. Let's do this. So, 4 years ago, I sat down and I put out my first weekly vlog video telling you guys, well, let's watch a clip of it together, shall we? And warning, I look a little different, although I'm the same person, but I am 3 months postpartum. So just imagine that for a second. 3 months postpartum and I'm sharing this news.
It's like a massive announcement. And no, I am not pregnant because Jack is only 3 months old. Okay, people, that would be insane. But I'm moving. I'm leaving Malaysia. Oh my God, crazy. I've lived here for 4 years. Do you know how many memories and how many things have happened to me in 4 years? It's absolutely amazing. I got 2 babies. I've traveled. I've met fantastic people. I've made awesome friendships. Holy shish kebabs, I'm moving.
With the whole family out. It's my husband's birthday this weekend, so we're kind of starting
Look
celebrations.
how little Jack is.
And I love this place. I can't believe I've lived here for 4 years and I've only been here twice. So that's ridiculous. But anyway, okay, I gotta start ordering.
I gotta pause this for a second. Can I be honest with you? This type of stuff is very hard for me to do because I find it very, very painful emotionally to look back on videos that I've made and times and places like this. Like Malaysia is such a special time in my life. I had both of my children there. We moved there in 2010 and we left in 2014. I mean, we showed up with a backpack and an IKEA. Well, we ended up buying an IKEA lamp while we were there and left with 2 children and suitcases and our hearts full of memories. And so, it's kind of painful. Okay, carry on.
These ones have some sort of sweet, delicious
so hungry.
paste
This
on
looks
the
amazing.
inside. It's like sesame. I don't know what it is. I don't know the names. I just like to eat.
There's Mommy. There's Amy again. Hi.
Aww.
Party animal. And what was the first one? How do you say?
Hello. Hello is ni hao.
It's me how
And then what else did you learn? Thank you.
Xie xie.
Session
And what was the?
Welcome is bokachi.
Bokachi.
Wow, Esme, that's awesome.
Thank you very much.
It hurts my heart.
Pat's leaving. There's a storm coming. Remember we could hear the thunder? Do you like thunder? It's a little bit scary.
Mommy, it's a noodle. It's getting twister you're going to see. And it's loud.
It's a little bit loud, it's true, but it's
Oh my
it's
God,
just a
Esme is so
thunderstorm. It's
extra.
nothing to be scared. Teacups for my little boy, but you know what? They're so cute. I just love it. My mom thinks you look so cute. All right, good night, guys. Say good night. Good night. Good night.
I'm 2 seconds into this. I'm already gonna cry. I can't. It hurts me.
It's like I went through the suitcases last night and kind of
My hair's changed. It's blonde now.
Did another downsize. It's crazy how much stuff you actually can just do without. It's kind of weird, but I actually feel kind of happy that I feel sad about leaving, because to me that means that I did it right. I made memories, I invested in a place, and it's nice to feel that way about your life, you know?
So one of the highlights for me was this farewell party that my friends had thrown for me. And the reason it's so monumental is because when you are living within an expatriate community, it sounds weird to even explain it because in Canada, we're so diverse, we're so multicultural. But in a place like where we were in Penang, I mean, the community of people from Canada, US, that kind of thing was a little smaller. And so you found pockets of friendships, and I don't know. I connected with a bunch of women and we would meet weekly for baby groups, and a lot of us had our children together. I mean, my very best friend Amy, who I had a few good friends too, because there was like Danielle and Laurel and all these great people, but basically my very good friend, I met her when Esme was itty bitty. She was like in the ergo on my back, and I bumped into Amy and her daughter Kira in a Forever 21 in the mall, and then I saw her again at the coffee shop, and Dean was like, go say hi. So I went over there, said hello, we exchanged numbers, and then we were inseparable, and we ended up having our boys like 3 months apart. So we were pregnant at the same time, and it was just like going through all these similar phases at the same time. Like, I feel like we bonded, like we imprinted on each other, you know?
So, yeah, I've known Amanda for about my whole time now. And
I just did my makeup.
now moments of baby groups. Personally, I just want to thank you for all that time. And yeah, it just what we were saying about you. Really love you saying that. So amazing.
Every time, goodness. Damn it, I literally just did my makeup. And also my baby is so cute, he's so chubby. Ah! That is so hard to watch, because I think it's like anything. I think it's like relationships, if it's with a partner, like a spouse. I mean, first of all, let me get a tissue, because we can't let this makeup situation get any worse than it's already occurring. Hold on, Barbara. Hold on. We are back. Okay. So I think it's like one of those things where you just love big and you love hard, knowing that you're probably gonna have heartbreak at some point, and things may hurt along the way, but it's worth it. Like, the relationship is worth it. And I haven't seen Amy in a really long time. Like, one thing that's kind of cool is we ended up meeting up in Thailand. Oh, here, actually in Bangkok. But I didn't get any friggin' footage because I wasn't as good at vlogging at the time, and it's hard, like when you know how I am when I go out for coffee dates with friends and things and I forget to pick up my camera. It's because I'm in the moment, and that's important. It's very important in this time of life where tech is kind of taking over everything and we're busy like taking photos instead of just having moments. And sometimes you have to stop and put the camera away, and so I did not pull the camera out. But so we left Malaysia, we did a tour. Yeah, we went to Thailand, then we did Hong Kong, Boracay in the Philippines, and then we ended up coming home. So we did like 2.5 weeks or something of travel. Anyway, so I leave Malaysia, I said goodbye to all my friends, and then I actually ended up connecting with Amy in Bangkok, because her and her husband and their kids at the time, we got together. And so that was really special. So we had like this final little goodbye, and it sort of helped me emotionally like leave, because I knew, oh, I'm gonna see my friend one more time, you know? And actually I haven't seen any of them. We had a really nice hotel room in Thailand.
Safe to say this room is freaking awesome. So you have the giant bed and this little sitting area.
Oh my God, it's amazing when you see this stuff. Like, it feels like yesterday.
Because my boys are bathing. But like, hello Bangkok.
Having fun?
Oh my God, the girls were so little. Amy, if you're watching this, they are so little. Yeah, so then we left Bangkok, had a lovely visit. Dean had an interview in Hong Kong, which we didn't end up taking that job. And then we came back to Canada thinking like we were just coming back for Thanksgiving and gonna see family and friends and do Christmas. And then we thought we were moving to Vietnam. We thought we were moving to Dubai. And then it just worked out like there was some stuff politically that was going on around the world that like Dean and I weren't too thrilled about kind of being part of. And then he kind of decided we were staying. Like, it was a weird time. It was a really, I even don't like thinking about that time because it was very hard emotionally, like to be back but not be in our own place. And we were like forever grateful for my in-laws who put us up in their house, and we stayed with Dean's parents for like 9 months, and that was hard.
Mace fighting it and Jack's pissed, so this might not last very long. We shall see. It's gorgeous outside though. There's a lot of stress involved in trying to do family
Jack was just like screaming.
There's snow at the bottom, it's true.
Because me is just like, oh, I was doing the 30-day yoga challenge. This is before yoga with Adrian exploded. Okay, so, and we're talking to my dad on Skype. Okay, so it was hard to obviously live with it's hard to live with anybody. Dean particularly had a difficult time because those are his parents, and I think like anybody, it's just a different relationship. I was living my best life. My mother-in-law is an amazing, amazing baba and an amazing mother-in-law. She helped me with Jack and Esme. She gave them baths. She cooked like every meal. This was like our reintroduction back into Canada. But that said, as much as it was like amazing, we started to feel a little bit stressed personally because we were like, is Dean gonna find a job in Canada? Because being a pilot and working in Canada is a little different than overseas, and there's all sorts of like timing constraints, and like we were sort of getting a little worried, to be honest. And then eventually he got a job based out of Hamilton, and we moved back to Ontario, which was mind-blowing because I had not lived in Ontario in nearly 8 years. And so that's wild. Like I hadn't, you know, I'm from Montreal originally. A lot of my family is in Ontario. And so to have been in BC for so long, in British Columbia on the other side of Canada, and then be overseas for so long, like all of a sudden I'm back. It was very weird. Here's what I did that worked. If you are kind of in this expatriate life right now, or you're living in a different country and then you might go back to your home country, my biggest piece of advice is treat it like it's a brand new adventure. Because if you think about it like you're coming back, you may be disappointed, which I have to be honest with you, Dean might not want me to share, but that's a mistake that he made. He treated it like he's coming back to old friends and coming back to old experiences, where I was like, ayo, we're in a new place and I'm gonna make new friends and we're gonna make this work, and it's a brand new experience. And should I connect or reconnect with old friends? Awesome. But my life is very different and a lot has changed in 8 years, and I ain't coming back to nothing. So that worked. Okay, I was feeling real good, but personally, I had not quite figured out what the heck I was doing with my career. I was not making really any money on YouTube. I had been with a few different agencies that were a bunch of BS, mostly based out of the States, didn't know how to work with me because I was like this odd duck living kind of in a different place. And also this was, what year is this? This is 2015. This is like at the beginning of when stuff really started to, I mean, stuff was working for creators and for content creators online and like influencers, although I really hate that word, but it wasn't like it is now. I certainly didn't understand branding and like all of that. Like I kind of knew, but I was knee deep in the thick of it with a nearly 8-month-old, almost 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, a partner who was struggling being back in Canada. We were experiencing reverse culture shock, which I'm gonna link a video below, or maybe I'll link a couple playlists, because there was like a whole whack of emotions that occurred. But I'll tell you this, when we moved into our house in Ontario, I was just like, I had a moment of like, oh my gosh, we're finally like living our own life in our own space. It's about to get real. And I felt like the pause button, because like that time in Alberta felt a little bit like a pause because I couldn't really pursue much. I was just trying to maintain making videos and keep, you know, sharing my life with you guys and building this community, but I wasn't sure how to make money and I wasn't sure what I should be doing. And life in Canada is way more expensive than it was in Malaysia. And I was like, I need to start bringing my bacon to the table. Like, how am I gonna do this? And so fast forward a few months, we rented a space in the city, you know, that we're living in, and then we bought a house and we started to renovate said house. And I think there is a moment, and this is like a very pivotal, here we go, it's called Going Back to Work, week 80 something. And essentially I sit down with you guys and I say, listen, I think I figured out a way to make some money off of YouTube and off of what I'm doing and contribute to my family. And I really want to try, and I really want you guys to stay open-minded and support me. And dudes, you did. I think we both followed through on like what the commitment was, but I remember, oh my God, look at my house.
The whole hallway, the ceilings,
So different.
Dad's on his way home.
Oh my God, I'm so skinny.
Can you hear the banging? Let's see. Anyway, carpet guys are here.
Oh my god, the day they put my
Fantastic.
carpets in, I've never been so happy in my whole life.
Saying twinkle twinkle now?
Oh my god, Jackie, stop it, he's so cute.
Twinkle. What about Frère Jacques? Frère Jacques.
Oh my god, he was in that case even then.
I love you.
Look at
little
my
monkey
house
butt.
is so different.
That's his
Holy
new thing he
smokes.
discovered to do. Okay, let's check out your new carpet. What do you think?
We got carpet upstairs.
So, is it soft and luxurious or what?
What happened here?
It's those little wins in life,
Oh, it's
you know?
amazing.
Like, I never owned a house growing up. My grandparents did, both sets, but we didn't have our own house. We always rented, and it was like, I could burst into tears just thinking about it. It was like one of those accomplishments in life that you're just like, I wanted something like that so bad. Growing up, I wanted my own yard. And now that I have it for my own children, and we did it, and Dean's like blood, sweat, and tears went into this house, and the work that he's done with his own bare hands, you know, to have that accomplishment, it was just like, it was a big moment. It was a big moment. I felt like I was on the cusp of something with creating something like this. I felt like I had a message and I had a voice and I could share things in a way that brought people together. And I was just like, please, like, universe, give me a chance. And then I met an amazing person and group of people, and my life changed, man. And I remember sitting with you guys. Week 86, I'll link the stuff below. But I just want to, you know, pause this kind of experience and say, like, thanks for joining me on this journey. And I absolutely love what I get to do here. And this is when I met like a bunch of friends in the industry, and this is when it really started to come together for me. Oh yeah, I see like Tina's in a thumbnail, and I go blonde in year 2, and I meet Joanna, and I meet like all sorts of amazing people. And then year 3, I mean, we're in year 4. We're wrapping up year 4 here. Anyway, I started working a lot more. I mean, dudes, like there was a moment, dudes. That is why Jack is always saying dudes. I'm talking to Jack the other day, and he goes, dude, I'm eating my breakfast. And I was like, what? Who do you think you're talking to? Like, it's me. Anyway, I'm feeling very grateful for things at the moment. Yeah, I'm pretty grateful for stuff, and it's just been a series of amazing opportunities. And I feel like if there's any message I could share with you guys, and I know you probably already know this to be true, but just say yes to shit. Hey Amanda, do you like, you know, want to go on a date with someone who's maybe like not the textbook typical person for you? Yeah, I do. Hey Dean. Oh, do you want to maybe like move across the country? Sure. Do you want to maybe get married and like move overseas? Sure. Do you want to take a chance and start a family millions of miles, maybe not millions, but far away from home? Yeah, sure. Do you want to buy a fixer-upper and make yourself a beautiful home for your family? Sure. Do you want to like take a chance and try to make something of your YouTube channel? Sure. Like all of those things were so goddamn hard to do, and there were so many tears, and I'm so glad that I said yes to all of them, because it brought me here to this day in this moment in my life. And this weekend, I think in the last podcast episode, or not the last one, but as I'm filming this, the last one I recorded is called Power. And I think that's the one I speak about how grateful I am to be in this situation that I'm in, or maybe it was Origin. Anyway, it's been a very self-reflective type of season so far, but I talk about how like sitting at that table in Lethbridge, Alberta, and wanting to go to this conference and realizing that I'm probably not gonna be able to go to this specific, it was like a content creator conference because I didn't have the income and I wasn't independent and financially yet, and it was just, I couldn't put that kind of pressure on my family to let me go. And then I spoke at it last year, and Joanna and I were given the accolade of being the best presentation. We got invited back, and we don't even really have to pitch what we're gonna talk about because we're just like, we nailed it, so we're doing it. And then like we're speaking at something on Sunday, and then we're speaking at a conference in Canada and next week. And it's just like, I feel like if you have a dream and you have passion, like there's so much that can come from it. And sometimes those memories looking back, like looking back at Malaysia and are coming back to Canada, is very hard, but it's often those like harder moments that you end up being really proud of yourself and the decisions that you have to make while you're in them, you know? Yeah. So memory lane, sometimes it hurts, sometimes you cry, sometimes you laugh, sometimes you do all of the things. But gosh darn it, those babies grow too fast. That's the one lesson I learned today. Okay, I gotta run. I'm starving. Hope you guys are doing well. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!